Hello, welcome back to another Q&A videos from my contest. Let's see if we can knock out some more in 20 minutes. First up is BM Prod, another Floridian. One of these days we need to hang out. He asked me how many conventions has I been to. I've been to 15. I have been to the last major one was San Diego Comic-Con 2010, and the last local one was also 2010 in Tampa. Okay, let's see if I can move on to the next one, and then we have Comic Crack. Comic Crack asked if I have ever drawn or aspired to work in comic books, and the answer is yes, Terrence. Even at the early stage of collecting in 1982, I attempted to put a comic book together. Back then, I didn't know that the name Solar Man has already been taken. So I came up with a character and drew a bunch of pages for it. I call it Solar Man, and it's basically here's the origin. The origin is he's an astronaut working on the space station outside, and a large solar flare happened, and something happened to him, and he absorbed the power of Solar Man and becomes Solar Man, and his power only exists when the sun is out. So at night he has no power, so only during the day where there is sunlight, then he shoot out this flaring, scorching, laser-like heat that melt things. But that's my take on Solar Man. And so this happened in like 1982, 83, and then I did submit a bunch of sketches to Marvel over the years. My last attempt was in 1991. Even after college, I still had some dream, and I submitted a script as well as a couple pages that I drew for to Dark Horse. Back in the early 90s, where Dark Horse was the rage with the non-superhero titles and a lot of movies related comic books. I script Blade Runner, the sequel, and I was trying to pitch the idea of a Blade Runner comic books would be a lot of fun for the hardcore Blade Runner fan out there. But sadly, I never heard back from Dark Horse, and that's the last time I attempted. So thank you, Terrence, for the questions. Okay, let's move on to next one. Son of Sam 73. What's the lowest grade comic you own? Probably incomplete. I do have a couple of books that are incomplete. They're nothing big, but as far as important books or key books, I would say the lowest grade I have is about a 2.0 as far as key books. Okay, but as far as other regular books, I have books that are missing covers and all that stuff. So I do have them, I just don't show them in the videos. Alright, Tim Morant, I think that's how you pronounce the last name, Morant. How many subs do I have? How many people do I subscribe to? I definitely subscribe to less than 500 something. I believe I subscribe to 300, barely over 300. whenever I get a subscriber, a new subscriber, I always go to that channel to see if that subscriber make videos. Uh, then I will subscribe. But uh, I'm not sure for other people, but for me, seem like half of my subscribers don't make videos. Um, they don't watch and they don't comment. So I'm not sure what's that all about. But if you follow me long enough, most of my videos tend to have anywhere from 50 views to maybe 200. That's be pushing it, right? So I'm not sure the 500 plus subscribers what many are doing. But so for me, I say about 300, just slightly over 300, and I subscribe to quite a few cooking channels as well as movie related channels. Okay. The Gifted Youngster asks, "What if any character's comic book could be turned into a movie, what your number one choice to be a new movie?" For TV, I think Punisher. Okay, I've been saying this for a long time. I think if there's any superhero that would translate well into a TV series, would be Daredevil and the Punisher. Uh, who knows how Netflix is gonna do with those properties, but I'm glad that they're pursuing that because I think those kind of action will translate well on the small screen, just like the Arrow TV show. The success of the Arrow TV show certainly helped launch Daredevil for sure, but I like to see the Punisher for sure. I do like the Punisher a lot. But as far as for the movies, I would say Doctor Strange, but they're making it, so I need to pick something else. Well, I maybe Shazam for DC. There's a lot. I mean, if I stray away from Marvel, there's a whole slew of DC superheroes that I would love to see on the screen. All of them, from Wonder Woman to even Deadman. Right there. Deadman would be pretty cool. Deadman could be a TV show also. Even Swamp Thing. Like I said, there's so many, but for the big movie for DC, I love to see a good Wonder Woman movies, and they are trying to make it. Let's see how Wonder Woman is received in the next Superman slash Batman movies, right? Before we see a Wonder Woman standalone movie. Omega 13. What is the hardest book for you to acquire in the grade you wanted? Ooh. Realistically, the hardest book, well, this is a tough question, Omega, because sometimes it's had to do with, a lot of time has to do with money. So instead of like trying to name a book that's hard to find because it's too expensive, sure, I love to have an amazing fantasy 15 8.0, but I'm not gonna spend $100,000 on that comic books. So as far as reasonable, cheap stuff that is not high price, but I love to find a high grade copy, but I have yet to find, is Iron Man #1. That dark cover. I have been looking for a nice raw 9.0-ish copy for a long time, and it has eluded me for a long time. And it's not that crazy expensive of a book, but I can go out there and buy a slab. But next to that would be Silver Surfer. I think Silver Surfer 1 was incredibly hard for me to find in 9.2, 9.0 raw for decades. I tried many times, and whenever I buy something on eBay, I always got disappointed and returned the book. So I finally broke down and bought a slab copy of Silver Surfer 1. So there's a couple examples for you. But it took a lot of giving up on my part to buy the Silver Surfer 1 in a slab, because I wanted that raw copy for forever. I still do. If I find a nice raw copy, I will sell the slab. Okay, let's go down to, let's see, we have time for maybe a couple more questions. Captain Cummins, Phil, what are the requirements nowadays for you as a collector when buying an expensive book? And what cuts you off as far as expensive book grade? I think Phil want to know, when it comes down to buying expensive book, do I have a cut off minimum grade? First, I have different criteria for different ages. When it comes down to Silver Age, non-keys. Okay, Silver Age non-keys, I would love to have 8.0 or better. Okay, for Silver Age keys, I would love, for my collection, 5.0 or better. If I was to buy Fantastic Four #1, I would love to buy at minimum 5.0. But as far as everyday Silver Age book, 8.0, 8.5 is fine for me. When it comes to bronze, for bronze, I have a cutoff where if it's keys, I prefer 9.0. But then for the rest, 9.2 is fine. I'm not that picky. I don't need 9.8. So, and as far as golden, I have no rule for Golden Age books. When it comes to Golden Age book, as long as it is complete, I am okay with it. It can be restored, it can be 1.0, 1.5, doesn't matter. I have plenty of 2.0 good low grade books as far as Golden Age, and it doesn't bother me at all to buy and own them. So when it comes down to Golden Age book, as long as it is complete, I don't care if it's restored or not, it's fine with me. Let's go with the last question. Incredible CJ. Let's end this with Incredible CJ question. I'm a Steelers fan, as my shirt saw. I'm a huge sport fan, so let's make it about sport. What are your favorite team for the various sport you may watch? Pittsburgh Steelers. Funny story about the Pittsburgh Steelers, why I am a fan. I knew nothing about American football when I came to this country. And when it comes down to football, I didn't know, I didn't have any allegiance. So by 1981, where I started to watch football, the truth is, I fell in love with the Steelers because of the color, black and yellow. Same thing with comic books. I love those kind of yellow. So, living in New York at the time, I thought the Jets with the green and white was kind of boring. And the Giant was blue and white, and that's kind of boring. and then you had the Steelers, which was black and yellow. It was pretty cool. And at the same time, they were pretty decent in 1981. So that's how I became a Steeler fan, in all honesty. So I picked them because I love the color combination. But from that, I really enjoy the Pittsburgh Penguins, the hockey team. I was a huge fan of Mario Lemieux, as well as Yager. So so for that, I would say. And then as far as basketball, I don't think I have a favorite team for basketball. I did have season ticket to the Portland Trail Blazer way back in the days where I was living in Portland. I sold my season ticket when I moved away from Portland. But as far as baseball, the Yankees. Yes, the dreaded Yankees, because once again, when I was living in New York in the early 80s, I knew nothing about baseball, and all my friends liked the Yankees, so I liked the Yankees. And over the years, I root for the Yankees, but baseball is not a sport that I'm that passionate about. So I do enjoy watching a good World Series, but other than that, I'm not really fanatical about baseball. That's my least favorite sport of all of them, as far as the major four sports. Anyhow, that will conclude this session of Q&A. Thank you everyone for giving me the questions, and I hope you enjoyed the answer. Until next time, bye.